Ladies and gentlemen, race fans from all over the world, welcome into week 8 of 12 of the Heart to Heart Motorsports Late Model Stock Series, coming to you live tonight from the legendary Bristol Motor Speedway. J-Dog, we're back again as we're getting midway into the season here, and we're getting ready to see some awesome racing here tonight with this short track.
Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you are. And we're here in Bristol, Tennessee, for an exciting late model race for the Heart to Heart Motorsports. BJ, this is definitely going to be exciting.
This is the Thunder Valley, everybody. The lights are on and the 100 laps of short track intensity are about to unfold. The high banked half mile where tempers flare, patient disappears, and the only tough survive. The championship battle is tightening up and every point counts tonight. So it could be a turning point in the season for one of these drivers. We'll see how it happens tonight as we got all these cars going out there qualifying right now. We see Austin Cloakpost up there now getting a 15.414, putting his place in the lead position.
Taking a look here now at Alamard.
Wants to bounce around on us tonight. Here we go. Alan Marr is going to run his first lap there of a 15.747 and lose control of it on that second lap. So unfortunately, he isn't going to get anywhere on that second lap. But like Mike's going to make his way into P4 there. As we'll see how he comes around here with a 15.708.
Looking really good out here at Bristol. Taking it first.
Of the 5 here.
Buchanan Resort is one of our sponsors here for Heart to Heart.
So I'll tell you, the main thing about tonight's race here at Bristol, everybody, is the drivers are really going to have to manage those tires tonight. Traffic, and just relentlessly, you're going to see a bunch of debris build up on the top half of this track here. So that high side, you're going to see a bunch of marbles there. You're going to see all those little black spots up there from all that tire wear just falling off onto the track as these guys get going. 100 laps here is a lot, you know, so it's definitely going to be challenging to see what happens here. All right, looks like we got one more coming out for qualifying here, or that's going to be it. All right, so just for a moment, we're going to step away for our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane from Bass Tire.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass. We're here at the legendary Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Good tires and brakes are important on this race car, and so are the tires and brakes on your vehicle.
For the very best in tires, brakes, and auto service, come make a pit stop at Bass Tire.
Serving Nashville for over 35 years.
On Nolensville Road, next to the zoo.
From custom millwork, to hands-on training, to the best products in the industry, T.W. Perry, Builder's First Source helps you do more. Each of our locations includes showrooms featuring windows and doors, decking and railing products, and a wide range of materials designed to inspire your next project. From concept to completion, you have a chance to see, touch, and compare the products that bring your vision to life. T.W. Perry, Builder's First Source, building better together.
All right, everybody, we're back from the commercial break, everybody. Let's also not forget to thank C&L Carpets for sponsoring us as well. Also, Chasing Muscle Cars out there on YouTube and Facebook. Y'all make sure you go check them out. Much love to everybody out there watching. We we would not be putting on the show without you guys. So, thanks so much for watching, everybody. Tonight, Heart to Heart Motorsports brings it to Bristol tonight for 100 laps tonight. Definitely going to be a fun, exciting night as we get round up here in this heat race. We're going to have a single heat race at 15 laps tonight. So we're going to see some fun stuff. We're going to see a lot of challenging things. It looks like we got one more driver lining up right now to qualify here. That's going to be Joe Flack, everybody, of the 91. We're going to see him go around and see if he can put down a pretty fast lap here and make his way towards the front of this field tonight. As we know with the late models here, off of the qualifying times, the field does invert. So, because they do get those qualifying points, so they will get those qualifying points and then will invert the field and heat race. So then the heat race will then get into the position where it will invert again for the feature. So we will see a bunch of good stuff going on. Scott Kaz in the chat saying, let's go. Yeah, definitely going to see some wild stuff tonight. So we're going to see how these 10 drivers can hold it together tonight. 3 minutes to go here to qualifying, everybody, and we're getting ready to lay it down. We're definitely going to see drivers here at Bristol overdrive this car here. And the problem with that is with this track, you can almost hold the car to the floor here. Well, technically, you can hold it down for a couple laps, but the problem with that is if you're holding it to the floor, the thing is you're going to get the tires hot and you will cause the car to spin coming off of the corner. So guys are going to have to be very consistent and chill out tonight and see where they can do their best. One mistake can end a night. One perfect run can define a season. So we'll see how that happens and who's going to get the bragging rights tonight. I'm looking forward to see some great racing from all these guys here.
This is definitely going to be an exciting race tonight here at Bristol. We're just going to have to see these guys, what they're going to put on for y'all tonight.
Currently in the point standings, we got Austin Cornpros currently in the lead position of the points. Alan Moore is going to take in that second place spot in the points. Bobby Joe Lane is going to be in third. Ronald Robertson, everybody, he's going to be in fourth place. Dan Collison's going to take up that fifth place spot in points. Bud Light Mike, everybody, in P6. Joe Flack in 7th. Rusty Robinson in 8th. Robert Yonkey's in 9th. And Andrew Longmire is going to be in that 10th place spot. That's going to be your top 10 in points. So it looks like everybody that's in that top 10 is here tonight other than Mr. Robert Yonkey. Not sure where he is. Probably taking a little breather. I understand it. I get it. Hope to see him again on the track here soon. Been a lot of fun, everybody, this season. They've definitely put on some great racing and yes, we got a lot more good stuff coming up for you, everybody. A lot of good racing going on still here. So as we look at the schedule here, taking a look, next week we'll be bringing you Stafford, everybody. Stafford next week. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to be a fun one. Or let me rephrase that. Maybe not next week. No, not next week. No, I take that back. I take that back. We skip the week, and we come back to you January 7th with Stafford. With the late models. All right. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. All right. Much love. I forget all about it. All right. Qualifying is rounding its last few minutes here, and we're getting ready to go grind. Good luck. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, we're getting ready for Christmas. Christmas is next week. We'll go back to the late models next year on January 7th. So hopefully everybody out here would getting their Christmas shopping done and get ready for Christmas. So you gentlemen now get ready to line up as PJ now is get ready for your starting lineup.
All right, everybody, here's going to be your starting lineup. That's going to be Dan Collison in P1 with Alan Marr taking into P2. That's going to be Bud Light Mike stepping into that P3 spot with Joe Flash in P4. Just towards more of the middle of the field here, that's going to be Ronald Roberson, everybody, in P5 with Steve Harrison grabbing P6. Andrew Lawmeyer on that inside lane in P7 with Bobby Joe Lane in P8. Austin Cornpro's going to grab that P9 spot with Rusty Robson grabbing P10.
Up, you better just get them barely cooking, guys, before y'all go. Pretty nice there. Base car we have here at Bristol.
Time around.
Pace car's off. We are green for the first heat. Great start for the 12 and Alan Marr in the 9.
Well, getting a great run there. Now,
Oh,
wait, a big wreck
got one
back in
touch.
the back already. Already a big wreck. That's going to give us the first caution of the first heat. Let's go back and take a look at what happened here. We'll take a rewind here real fast. All I saw was the 8 here. Let's see. I saw a little bit of going 3 wide here at Bristol. That's definitely not something you can do at Bristol. That's definitely not something you don't do 3 wide at Bristol. I don't know what they would think to do that, but you don't go 3 wide at Bristol. I swear that's what I seen. But we'll see. I might be wrong. We'll see. Taking a look here. Oh, no, the 91 gets into the back of the 8 there. That's caused a lot of people to get involved. A lot of people involved there. Unfortunately, 91 just barely taps the 8 there and causes that big wreck. Unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of people possibly go into pit road here and go get repaired. Let's get us back to the live here so we can see what's going on here as well. See a lot of cars going to pit road here. Possibly. See Austin in there. Austin's in pit road, but he's coming out. He's going to get that fast repair. They'll get another one in the race, but this thing, in this race, they're going to have to take it very easy for quite a bit of the race here, or they're really, really going to put themselves out of this thing. The heat race is a different ball game, though, y'all. This is where the moment where you just want to just go. Hope you stay out of the trouble and get those points, because you can still not get points here in this heat race. Only the top 8 get points, so 2 people tonight in this heat race will not receive points, and that will be the last 2 vehicles.
Joe in the 91 does got a little front end damage on that car. That's going to kill his aerodynamics in that car, so we're going to have to see how he's going to do when we go back to the restart.
His car will go in next time around. love them Bristol lights, man. They really reflect off of these cars here, you know. Definitely makes these cars pop.
And it does, really. It actually looks pretty good. Dan Coulson in 12 and Alan Martin in 9. We're back to the restart. Joe, of course, got a little bad restart from the aerodynamics. Got a little damage on the front end of the car. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen
from the 31.
Alan Martin scratched the ball over 2. Now going into 3.
Now the 02 trying to make his way up the field here. Now looking for P3. They're going to fall back just a little bit.
Also got a little loose now coming in, turn through. Now turn 2 now. Alan Mars off the side now, put like Mike.
A lot of action going on towards the front of this field. They got a big battle going on here for this lead position. The 9 is now doing all he can to get up to that pole position. Now that we see that 02 still trying to work his magic around Bud Light Mike here for that P3.
Look at them dang doors around 3 and 4 now.
Going on here, lots going on. We got the 8 back here battling with the 95 now. The 8 and the 5 are bumping.
5 just bumped, and there goes the 8.
The 8 has lost it. He has lost it again, but he keeps going, so there's not going to be a caution. They're going to keep going.
The cautions do not count in the heats.
95 blinking just a little bit there, but it gets it back under control. So everybody's kind of lined up here. Single file. And the caution is out. It looks like it's the 8 again.
This heat's been a wild one. It means the future's gonna be even wilder.
It's Bristol, baby. Now the biggest mover of the race is going to be Bobby Joe Lane, now currently in that P3 spot. This will give him the advantage he needs to try to get up there to Dan on this restart, if he hasn't burnt up the tires enough to make his way up there. So we'll see what happens here, and we'll see who goes in and possibly try to get some tires or something. We'll see. Maybe not. It is a little too early, and it's really only a heat race, so really you don't need anything like that. So it's time to just go. You're going to see the 8 go on to pit road here. 8's going to go in and get fixed and hopefully come back out. Bang it out.
That's the only time you need to go in and pits on during the heat race is during a caution.
Definitely at Bristol. The thing about Bristol is if you go into the pits, you're most likely going a lap down. This is only a half of a mile track here, so you know as these cars go around in the feature under caution, you could definitely go a lap down. So we'll see how that plays a factor tonight.
Pit road's closed, and we should be getting ready to go back to green here pretty soon.
I'm really thinking we're going to see a few try to drive it all the way out tonight, J-Dog. So I'm going to wait and I'm going to call that. I'm going to wait and say that somebody's going to try to take it to full 100. Unless there is a caution and they're able to go get tires. But the question is that the time when you just go in and get only right side tires, you know?
Yeah, it does. Bristol actually does eat the right sides. But you gotta be careful with the unbalancing of the car, though. It can hurt you, or it can help you. It really depends. Car is starting to scramble as now the pace car is getting ready to pull back in, and we're getting ready to go back to the restart. And we got Dan Nicholson 12 and Alan Marr 9, and here we go.
12 and 02, going to get the jump on the restart. 02 pushing behind the 12 there.
Single file now, 6 to go. Look behind Bobby Joe's car there. Now
91 on the inside of the 9, trying to make something happen late. That's the 95 of Austin, excuse me.
Austin now in front of his partner Alan Marr, now trying to catch up to Bobby Joe in the 2. Now Bobby Joe trying to look to the inside of Dan Colson in 12.
Starting to close the door as well.
3 to go. Bobby Joe on the inside now, side by side, front straightaway.
If Austin's going to make a move, he's going to have to make it quick. Is he going to push it to the limit here? This final corner will tell.
Dan Colson fall way back now. Austin now knocking on the back door. Bobby Joe, 1 lap to go.
Final lap, as we see, will the 95 push it to the extreme, try to get the win here.
Here we go, let's see. Bobby Joe takes the win of the heat.
A great run by Austin there, making his way up towards the field. That's going to be Alan Marr in P3, Andrew Lawmeyer grabbing P4, Rusty Robinson grabbing P5, Dan Collison grabbing P6, Steve Harrison grabbing P7. Man, I tell you what, that was awesome right there. Now we're getting ready to gear up here after a little 5-minute warm up, and get ready to go racing for 100 laps.
For some of the drivers, be a good time to go use the bathroom right about now. You can see from all that marble, from all the top of that track, this feature is going to cause a little bit of trouble. If they don't stay off at the top of that track and try to get in that marble when they're racing, they need to stay in a little bit below the line of the top line of the wall. There's Ronald in the 8.
You see him have a little bit of problem there here in the heat race. Probably trying to get that extra couple minutes there just to try to get it dialed in.
Yeah, he barely came in the room getting any practice, but now, being just a little bit of a warm-up, yeah, it'd be a good time to go out there and try to get some of it.
Sometimes we tell these guys, you got to come in and practice with these other guys, get the feel of it as round of your other drivers here, work together, help each other, that's what's going to make you a better driver here, and make you have good races. So, he didn't come in for much of the practice here, and he's here. He slammed it down in the heat race, and unfortunately had a little bit of problems, but one little adjustment can make your night. So we'll see how it goes for him. And, he just come out here and ran a pretty hot lap here, so we'll see what he can do tonight, and hopefully he'll stay out of trouble and take that Fruity Pebbles car to the front.
That is your favorite cereal there, BJ.
I'm saying, man, every time I see that car, man, it makes me want to go in the kitchen, fix a bowl of Fruity Pebbles, or at least maybe even some cinnamon toast crunch. That's good stuff too.
That is a pretty car that he's driving.
Merry Christmas scheme. Getting ready for Christmas next week. Santa Claus pulling the bag over there on the side. Take a look at Dan Colson leading most of that heat race there. We'll see what he can do tonight. If he can hold it on and put something out there tonight. Definitely losing it a little bit there at the end with Lane and Austin Corpros coming and bringing a lot of speed to the table. We'll see what can happen. Bud Light Mike in the 47, everybody. Bud Light Mike has had a very good season here, so we'll see how he finishes tonight. I think he's been a very promising season for Bud Light Mike. He's had a good run, definitely a great run tonight. Bobby Joe Lane and that fast tire too, everybody. We saw him in the heat race, just got the victory in the heat race, so we'll see what he can do to finalize for this 100 laps tonight. Man, I tell you what, a lot of good people out here tonight. A lot of good racing. So we'll see what happens as we get ready to gear up.
And the field will invert, so we're going to have to see where Bobby Joe will start, being at the end of the field.
Mr. Robinson is going to make him a quick lap before we go green flag. Mr. Robinson in that number 5 Buchanan Resort.
He is one of our sponsors here for Heart to Heart. Looking pretty good out there in there. Number 5.
Everybody, that's going to be the changeover here to the feature.
BJ will give the honors of the starting lineup.
All right, everybody, here's going to be your starting lineup. Bud Light Mike is going to grab that P1 spot with Joe Flash in P2. That's going to be Ronald Roberson, everybody, in P3 with Steve Harrison grabbing P4. That's going to place Dan Collison in P5 with Rusty Robinson in P6. Andrew Lawmeyer, everybody's going to grab P7 with Alan Marr in P8. That's going to be Austin Cornprost in P9 with Bobby Joe Lane grabbing P10. Wrapping it up. Let's go.
It's definitely going to be an exciting feature. If what we've seen in the first heat, yeah, this is definitely going to be an exciting race. Don't get those tires too warm, like guys. I'm gonna save it for the beginning of this race.
All right, J-Dog, are we crashing? Or are we going to make it a few laps? What's going to happen? You know, it is the little Coliseum, 24-degree banks, baby.
I don't want to jinx anybody right now. Let's see these guys give us a good show. Let's go from there. Pace car's off. We are greeting Crystal. Here we go, guys. It's tightening up a little bit back there Bud Light Mike. Stacked it up a little bit.
Joe Flash getting a great run on that start. Joe Flash put it on. The 50th, Steve Harrison jumped his way into that P2 spot, but Rusty Robinson start stepping into that P3. Alan Mars tucked in behind that number 9 is looking to make his way up there as he's battling hard for points right now.
Elmore now side by side with Rusty Robinson going into 3.
As long as he has, Joe Flash has these guys battling back here, that's going to be a great advantage for Joe.
I think Rusty Robinson just got a little loose in the front end now. Steve Harrison got a little in front of all of them, but now he's back in front of them again. Now we go back single file now, front straightaway going into 1. Now trying to look at the inside. Now Rusty Robinson now coming front straightaway.
Seeing now Steve trying to make his way to the inside here so he can lead a lap. He's going to take that car to the front.
Dan was just right beside Alan Moore now. Now Joe is now falling back a little bit between us Robinson. Now Alan Moore now trying to squeeze himself right beside Joe. Try to get in that third spot.
Falling back, that higher line is not where they're wanting to be right now. You're seeing a lot of people make their way around Joe here on that lower side here. A lot of stuff going on around the track here. Lots of moves being made.
That lower end of the track is the fastest lane of this track right now. You do not want to be in that far top right lane because if you do, you want to be inside when you try to pass somebody. You do not want to be racing up there. You need to try to get back in the single file and try to get back in the race.
Especially once those marbles start hitting the track, you're going to see a lot of tire wear. You'll see later in the run, people start to run that higher line, but you're not really going to see people run that higher line till later in the run here, once they start burning those tires down here. So we'll see. If it goes green flag, it's definitely going to make a change here.
Steve Harrison does got a little bit of a lead on Rusty Robinson in second place spot right now.
Steve Harrison's up here burning it down, leading in that number 13 here.
He's getting some good bonus points right now as we speak. Coming up into the backfield. Now Austin the inside of Ronald Robinson in the back.
Great to see Steve come back and get himself up there where he needs to be to get and win this thing. So if he can pull away from these guys, he could really pull off an amazing race tonight.
Austin now got a little loose now between 3 and 4, now up in the wall.
Now we got the 9 battling back here for P2 with the 5, and now they're wrecking.
Oh,
they're wrecking. The 5 is in the wall.
And we got a caution. That right there will
hard
bring out
racing there. Let's go back and take a look here. We'll rewind that real fast here. Right there's where we want to be. That's going to be the spot. We'll go into the far chase view here. Let's actually rewind just a hair more here, y'all. There we go. Let's put that in slow motion. You see the 9 just driving it really hard, but he taps the corner panel of the 5. The 5 goes flying in the air. We got to go back and take a look at the 5 here real quick. Got to see that 5 once again here. See what happens when he hits the wall here. Just watch that car, everybody. Is it a it just, yeah, it slams it. It slams it. Here we go. Watch it. Pow! He's up in the air, and he goes around. Looks like nobody else is going to be involved, so that's a good thing. But they're going to have to get turned around very fast and get caught up to that pace car so they don't go a lap down. Because that's the trick here. You got to get it turned around and hope to get it fixed before everybody passes you. Hopefully, the leader and them will slow down and give him time to get turned around because this is such a small track. Like I said, it looks like he does have a lot of steering. He's lost his steering here. It definitely looks like, man, unfortunately, that sucks for Rusty early on in this race. Hopefully, he'll be able to go into the pits and get that fixed out real quick, and we'll see what happens. As now the pace cars come around, that's going to hurt him. That's going to put him a lap down here.
That's a little bit unfortunate for Rusty Robinson. in the 5, but
But it does
turn,
look like he did go get that car fixed.
that's a good thing too. I was about to say the turn radius in these cars actually suck. You can't do much in these cars, and it's hard to turn around, especially at Bristol, being a small track. But it isn't exciting.
Unfortunately, that's going to put him a lap down. But the thing is who will be able to get that lap back if we have another caution, and as long as he's not involved in that accident. So we'll see how this plays a factor for him tonight.
As these drivers now get ready to go back double file for the restart. I think Steve Harrison in the 51, I like that paint job. It looks like a hurricane on his top of his car. As now we're back to the green. Slow get up between Steve Harrison and Almar tonight.
It looked like a little bit of a delay there between the front of this field here on that restart. Now Andrew Longmire here side by side with the 8th. That 5th place spot.
I think they both fell asleep at the wheel, it seems like. Now we're back to single file now here going into 3. Austin now right beside Andrew in the back. Austin now gets right past Andrew now in the 31. Now trying to get up here to the field.
Steve Harrison doing a great job of still controlling this race here with the 12 of Dan Colson, making his way up here to his bumper. The 0-2 of Lane in that P3 spot. Alomar in P4. Ronald reversing everybody grabbing into that P5. That's going to round off your top 5 as we see these guys going high speed around Bristol with 78 laps to go.
Alomar now trying to look to the inside of Bobby Joe Lane in the 2. Now going to turn 3 and 4, now heading back front straightaway. Sounded pretty good going around this camera around here in Bristol. Trust me, these laps here at Bristol, man, they go pretty fast.
See Steve Harrison tucking that lower line, just trying to stay ahead here. He's going to have to run that steady line to keep him from getting around. He's going to have to make them pass on that outside lane if he wants any kind of holding on to it now. Now you got the 12 all over the back bumper of Steve.
Now Bobby Joe Lane trying to look to the inside. 12 when he got loose with Dan Colson. And the 12 got loose with Bobby Joe Lane now taking advantage of it.
Yes, that's going to give Alan Marr the advantage he needs also to grab into that P3 spot. The thing is, you can go down there and you can try to overdrive it, but the question is, or you can stand on that high side and overdrive it. And that's going to cause you to lose a lot of momentum and get these other guys to come up there and just get right on you, because this is some really close racing.
We're Austin in the 95 where he's racing at, and you need to stay with those group and stay in the lower line of this track, because if you try to go in high end on this track going around these corners, you'll catch it the wrong way and you're going to end up going to the wall. As now Bobby Joe now trying to look on the outside of Steve Harrison, even though that NLR is trying to look at the outside of Bobby Joe Lane too in the 2.
Steve Harrison's going to have to keep it tucked low to keep that 0-2 off of him. He's going to have to keep it down there on that yellow line. He's going to have to make the 0-2 pass on the outside lane. That's where he's going to gain his speed.
Single foul now coming front straightaway. Bobby Joe Lane still knocking on the back door of Steve Harrison. Alomar not too far behind now. Dan Colson not too far behind either, as Austin now trying to make his move. Now got a little bit checked up. Andrew had his head hit the brakes just a little bit, just to keep from hitting Austin in the rear end.
Taking a look at the nose cam here around Bristol, seeing how much speed they got going around these corners, y'all, is amazing. As now the 02 is just all over here on the back of this leader here.
You definitely got to have patience around Bristol and being high speeds, and they almost checked up on the front straightaway. Wait, man, they're getting squirrely up there up front.
Take a look back here, see who we got. We got the 9 in third place. We got the 12 in fourth. Austin Klumprost, everybody. Let's not count him out. He's been very strong contender all season long. Austin is now getting a little bit free here. They are getting into each other, the 12 and the 95. 12 getting a little free. He's going to have to slow it down. Let them tires cool off.
Oh, they touch! 31's going around. Well, they saved it. They slow down.
Oh, what a bump that was from the 31 and the 12. 12 straightening up. The 31 just tapping the 12, trying to help him straighten up. The 12's going to have to get off that gas and cool them tires down to get composure of that car. If he doesn't, he's going to burn it down.
Okay, a little recount. What happened earlier when Dan Colson was coming around turn 2, got a little loose into Austin, and Austin got a little tapped in going around turn 3, got a little loose against Rusty Robinson, and that's what caused that little trial off right there in front straight away.
It's going to cause the field to split up a little bit here. So we'll see how that plays a factor here later on as these tires start to wear here as we get a little later in this run. As we're almost halfway done with Bristol Motor Speedway. This track goes so quickly here, you know, so small, so it goes so fast here. You got to make the precise moves or it can make them break.
Round. Steve Harrison just got turned by Bobby Joe coming out of exit 4.
Let's go back and take a look here. Take a look at what happened. We'll go in the far chase view here, see what happened. We'll get in the 02 here, see what happened. Put it in slow motion here. Looks like the 02 getting the run coming off the corner here, but he's running that lower line. But the 13's coming down to try to block the 02 from getting that run. Unfortunately, that's going to be a bad call for Steve, but Steve can get it turned around. It looked like he didn't hurt himself too bad, and he'll be able to get that car fixed here. As they slow down for the pace car here and let that pace car get around here to the front and go pit.
That will bring out our third caution in this race as Rusty Robinson now will be back on the lead lap.
All right, as we're under caution, we're going to step away for a commercial break. Go ahead and do our halfway point, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane from Bass Tire.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass. We're here at the legendary Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Good tires and brakes are important on this race car, and so are the tires and brakes on your vehicle.
For the very best in tires, brakes, and auto service, come make a pit stop at Bass Tire.
Serving Nashville for over 35 years.
On Nolensville Road next to the zoo.
custom millwork to hands-on training to the best products in the industry, TW Perry, Builder's First Source helps you do more. Each of our locations include showrooms featuring windows and doors, decking and railing products, and a wide range of materials designed to inspire your next project. From concept to completion, you have a chance to see, touch, and compare the products that bring your vision to life. TW Perry, Builder's First Source, building better together.
All right, let's not forget to thank Buchanan Resort, also C&L Carpets, and Chasing Muscle Cars, everybody, as we're green flag here at Bristol with 53 laps to go.
That was a good jump there, Bobby Joe and the two. I don't blame him there with the 8 behind him. Everybody now is starting to single file now. Everybody's starting to fall back. Starting to collect up a little bit in front end as Bobby Joe's starting now to start to take over this race. As we are now getting close to this halfway point of this race.
We got another wreck. Another wreck. There was no caution. There should have been a caution. How was there not a caution there?
51 now side by side now. Rusty now falling behind the 51 to Steve
How
Harrison.
did Joe save that? How did he keep going and not go a lap down? Oh my goodness, man. I'm telling you, I know I wasn't seeing things. I saw that man go around.
It goes to show you that practice actually does pay off.
So honestly, if there's another caution, he might be in good shape. But he's not that far behind. He's only 4 seconds behind, so he can definitely make that up.
He definitely saved that car is what happened. That was a good save.
Now we got a battle for fourth here. The 9 trying to make his way around the 12 here. Steve Harrison getting into that complication with the 02 here. But he's going to be able to be in P6 here. He's going to have to make his magic happen and get his way back up here towards the front. 02's being very fast right now. The 02's starting to put on some real heat. But he's got that 8 knocking at his back door. Andrew Lallmeyer starting in that, grabbing in that P3 spot, looking to make his way up here. But he's got the 9 and the 12 right there behind him. So we'll see what happens. We got Rusty Robinson currently running in that P6 spot. We got the 13 of Steve Harrison, P7, currently falling back just a little bit from where he was. But we'll see what happens. Austin Cornpost, everybody. Austin has had it pretty rough tonight. I've been seeing him in the back a lot tonight. I don't know what kind of strategy he might be trying to play. Maybe he'll come in strong here at the end. We'll see what happens. 8th place, though, still not a bad spot, but that's definitely going to hurt him in the points where he's at. So we'll see what happens. As now, Austin's doing his best to make his way back up to the front of this field. Bud Light Mike currently 3 seconds behind here, but he is in that 9th place spot, but he is on that lead lap, so we'll see what happens. Joe Flash, I don't know. That man has just saved his race. I don't know what happened there, but I'm telling you, he had to work a miracle to be where he's at. So I'm hoping to see that 91 work his way back up there. I really want to see something happen with that 91. So let's see what happens. The 9 and the 12 still battling it out here for that 5th place spot. 8 starting to get closer and closer to the 02, closing the gap just an inch at a time.
The only thing they don't have to worry about is gas. The thing they do have to worry about is tires. So they better be careful of how much battling they're doing on right now.
Allmeyer making his way into that P3 spot, but there's big battles going on here towards the back of this field. With Alan Marr stepping into P4. Robinson still closing the gap in that P5 spot. Can he make it happen? We saw he was very fast in practice, so we'll see if he has enough to make his way up there.
He's driving that really low line towards the close of the apron. He better be close and not touching the apron. If you touch that apron, you're going immediately around because it's just like touching ice around this time of the year, being how cold it is where you are right now.
Wayne doing a great job of being consistent here, holding a good, steady, consistent line here, making it very hard for the 8 to get up there where he needs to be and make that pass. The 8's going to have to work his magic
there
around
goes
the high
31.
side.
31's getting loose. 31 went up in traffic.
Big
Got
crash,
12,
big
now we got
crash. Hold
caution.
on, let's go. Let's go take a look what happened here.
Andrew in the 31 actually got loose on the apron. Got a little touch by Rusty, but we just have to go back and take a look.
It was not Rusty that got into him, everybody. Let's rephrase that. Let's go back and take a look here. As we take a look, we'll put that in slow motion here. The 9 gets into the 31. The 31 goes sliding underneath the line there, so that's going to cause him to get even more loose, shooting himself up to the track into the 12. 12 goes into the wall. Almost. A lot of people getting into that. Good thing is they'll have that fast repair. I don't believe neither one of them got into any trouble this race so far, so they should still have that fast repair to go in. It looks like we're going to have the 31 tow out. He's going to just tow into pits. That's a bad mistake at Bristol. You do not tow out. If you can drive it to pit road, you need to drive it to pit road. You can hurt yourself and go laps down by towing. Sometimes it's better just to drive around, put that fast repair on, and get it fixed. Because if you tow, then you got to wait for the tow. Then you got to make sure that fast repair is turned on and then hope that it uses that fast repair. So sometimes it's better just to go ahead and, you know what I mean, get that sucker and drive it broken till you can get it fixed. All right.
I just saw Dan Coulson also had to tow in because of the accident. He probably broke his tire rod from the force of Andrew coming up off the track into 12. BJ did correct me saying that Alan Marr did tap Andrew into 31, and he did. Back to green.
Not really sure what we had going on there. I was trying to fix the leaderboard there as it looked a little bit off here. And now we're back green flag. The 02 getting the run on the restart. The 9 of Alan Marr pushing his way into that P2 spot. Ronald's going to fall back just a little bit there. That's going to give Rusty the momentum he needs. Rusty's going to have to give it all he's got right now 25 laps to go. This is the moment where you're going to have to give it everything to see where you can get it. Because these laps go very fast here at Bristol.
From 24 to go, we're about to hit 23, and it's going to go fast from here. This is the last part of the race. This is when you actually want to start racing for your position.
It's like Dan Colson and
Whoa, Rusty got a little into Ronald.
Another big crash, big crash. Let's go back, take a look at what happened with Rusty here. Man, Rusty in the air. Hey, Rusty's getting some air time tonight. I'm just saying. He's getting some air time tonight. When I mean air time, I mean like he's really getting air time. You know what I mean?
We got to take a look at this real
He's
quick.
floating and coasting. You know what I mean? He's booting and he's boasting. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but we're going to try it. All right, let's put it back into that motion here. Take a look. He taps the rear of the 8. The 8 gets free across the front of the nose, which we've seen this most of the night here. And that's going to cause the 8 to slide up left wheels off the ground. The 5 trying to avoid it some more, but causing him to get into it. The 95 is going to get a little action. And the 13 slams into the 5 here. It doesn't look like anybody else got into the 8. The 91 trying to avoid it, causing him to get into some trouble here. The 47 looks like he made it through, so he's going to be good there. Hopefully, some of these guys got a fast repair. You're going to see a lot of guys going to pit road right here. Yep, like I said, you see a lot going into pit road, so we'll see what happens here and get those cars fixed and push for these last few laps.
This is the perfect time to go into pits now to finish off the car and get ready for the last 20 laps here at Bristol.
We got the final 20 laps to go here, J-Dog. The O2 has really had a dominant race here, but the question is each time these guys go in and get these fresh tires, he's still on that original set of tires, you know. So the question is how that going to play a factor for him on this final restart? Steve Harrison in the chat saying he's got too much damage. Yeah. I mean, that was a pretty big one, man. That was a big hit. It went boom, boom, pow, bro. I'm just saying, it was a good one. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it was pretty wild. It was a bumpy ride for sure. We watched Rusty go flying in there. But it is Bristol. It is Bristol.
And it has been an exciting race here so far, too, as well.
But you know what? You will get that bonus point tonight for leading that lap tonight, Steve. So good job on that.
Ace car's off.
Also, that should give you a P8 finish there because Andrew and Dan was out before you tonight. So that will give you a P8 finish. Now, the O2's looking to dominate here. He's looking to send it all he got. Can he make it happen? The 9 trying his best to close the door. The Ronald now side by side with the 91. The 91's going to have to give it all he can to make his way back up here towards the front of this field. Grab that P3 spot. Can the 91 make it happen? Can he grab into that podium finish? He has had a great season all season. It would be great to see Joe Flash in the booth again. So we'll see what can happen here. Bud Light Mike has made his way into this top 5, just hanging out in the back of this field tonight. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with Bud Light Mike. It looks like Austin Cornprost in some trouble tonight. That currently is going to put Austin down in that P7 spot. Unfortunately, it's going to be bad. You got Steve Harrison, he's going to grab P8, being out of the race. Andrew Lawmeyer in 9th, and Dan Collison in P10. Still a lot of points there, everybody. It's only 10 cars, so you'll see a lot of points there. And then they'll get the points for the qualifying and the heat race. So all that plays a factor here. All right, as now the 9 still doing everything he can to close into that 02, but that 02 is really putting on some good speed here, holding at least that half a second.
Yeah, it's always tough for these drivers out here, especially half our field's gone from that accident we just had not too long ago from the last caution. That was like, what, the 4th caution of the race?
That'd be the 4th caution of the race. It's definitely been an interesting race here at Bristol, but you know, Bristol, that's what it's about, action-packed, side by side.
And that's what exactly we've been seeing here tonight. Bobby Joe's still got Alomar in the 9 now, trying to knock on his back door.
Bumper here of the 02 in the final laps. See the 8 back there. 8 starting to pick up some ground. Is he going to have enough time to make his way up there, though? I'm not sure. As long as these guys battle, if they get side by side, that's where that 8's going to get the run and make his way to close that gap. As now he's at a second gap behind these guys with just 6 laps to go. It's a possibility he could still make it up here, but he's going to have to give it everything he can and hope to not burn it up and spin it out and lose that P3. 2 trying to hold off the 9 here as we're 5 laps to go. Well, unfortunately, yeah, it's been a rough one for a few of you tonight, but you know, you'll still grab that P7. You'll grab those points. That shouldn't put you in a bad spot, brother. That shouldn't hurt you too bad. You should be all right there, and there's always next week. You know what I mean? Well, not next week, the week after next. At Stafford. All right, the 9 starting to close it down here. He's going to have to pass on the outside. I'm telling you, the 02's not going to give it to him that easily as we're 2 laps to go here.
Alomar knocking on the back door. Bobby Joe now back straightaway with 2 to go. We're going to have to see what happens here now. Ronald now trying to close that gap between Alomar and Bobby Joe.
Not going to be enough time here as they're on the final lap.
Alomar going backwards and forth behind Bobby Joe, trying to pass him. Final lap, here he comes.
And the 02 comes to the checkered flag with the 9 of Alomar grabbing P2. Ronald Robertson, everybody, grabbing P3. Joe Flash, P4. Bud Light Mike in P5. Rusty Robinson in P6. Austin Corpros grabbing P7 tonight. Steve Harrison in P8. Andrew Lawmeyer in P9. And Dan Collison in P10. What a phenomenal run by all these drivers tonight. And the 02 just purely put down the speed. Look, track's so small, can't even do a burnout. Come on now. Come on, we got to see some kind of tire. Let's see it. Let's see it. He might just want to pin that thing up against the wall. What you think?
No, actually, just go in the middle part of the track, hold your brake, hold down the clutch, and let it rip.
All right, we'll wait till they all get lined up here on the pit road, and we'll get them here in the booth and talk to them. We'll get talking to this top 3. What a great race they put on tonight at Bristol, y'all. Please don't forget to subscribe to Heart to Heart Motorsports so you don't miss out on any future races with Heart to Heart Motorsports. Races brought to you every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, please don't forget to check us out Sundays with the Craftsman Truck Series, broadcasted by Motormouth Broadcasting. Y'all, please go subscribe to Motormouth Broadcasting. Great broadcasting team. Showed the most love and support here to Heart Motorsports, bringing us an awesome season of broadcasting. So y'all, please make sure y'all go check out Motormouth Broadcasting and subscribe and check out Motormouth Broadcasting. Race is brought to you every Sunday of Heart Motorsports at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see if we can get this top 3 in the chat here and talk to them, everybody. I'll tell you what, we're going to try to go ahead and pull. Let's go ahead and pull Bobby in here. The O2 doing a great job tonight, holding on to some good laps there towards the end, getting a good battle throughout the whole race, making your way up towards the front there. It was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was extremely tough. Had old tires, and I'm pretty sure Alan had pitted at some point, but man, I had to literally block him the last 10 laps just to get him. And once, about the time I went to dive in the corner, my spotter said car low, and I'm pretty sure he could have put the bumper to me if he wanted to, but he's a good racer and he didn't do it. So I got to give him kudos for that.
Y'all definitely put out a great run.
I missed my pit stall again, and I did that a few weeks ago and won the race. And I missed it again tonight too. But we were turning twos at the end of the race once the tires cooled off, and we went back under green. Me and Alan was swapping fastest laps with low twos with them old tires.
Well, you did a great job tonight. You pulled it off for the heat race and for the feature tonight. So you'll get double the points here tonight, pulling off some great speed. So congratulations there. And you got any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout out to y'all. Y'all for broadcasting, and Bass Tire, and Alan Tillery, and Buchanan, and T.W. Perry, and Jason Muscle, and C&L Carpets, and probably forgetting somebody, but anybody who has anything to do with this league, Wiley, if you're out there watching, Avery, your mom, it's Tina's birthday. Happy birthday to her. And everybody has anything to do with this league, man. They're a great bunch of guys.
Couldn't say it better myself. So appreciate you coming in the booth and hope you have a good night tonight. Go celebrate that win. All right, everybody. That's going to be Alan Marr wrapping up that P2 spot. Alan Marr in the battle for the championship right now. So, coming from this race here, from the other races we've raced this season, how difficult would you say it's been?
Oh, this is an easier track for me. I've always been pretty quick at Bristol. It's a track you actually got to drive, so I'm always good for those. If there's no tire strategy or fuel strategy and you can just get out and drive, I'm all for it.
Most definitely. It is a big factor here. Definitely, you have to play the cards right and hope your best to stay out of trouble along the way also. Yep. Because if somebody goes, you just never know what's going to happen, especially with those 24-degree banks. You never know what's going to happen. So great job
you
tonight.
You definitely got to have the track position, or you're going to be battling, wasting time on sitting behind somebody and while the leader's running off on you.
I just want to say you've done a great job tonight, man. Getting ready to go into the holidays. Take us a week off here with the late models and enjoy some Christmas time with the families and come back to Stafford. So
Absolutely.
We'll be ready to run that here. And but you got any shout outs?
Yeah, thank y'all for broadcasting tonight. I don't have the sponsorship box in front of me, so we'll wait till next week to give them a shout out. But thank y'all for putting this on. Bobby and Scott, you hosting the league, J-Dog in the booth.
Well, we appreciate you very much, and we hope you have a wonderful night and a Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
All right, doesn't look like we're going to get Ronald in the chat tonight. Ronald didn't want to step in for that P3 interview, but great finish by Ronald in that number 8. He did a phenomenal job tonight. So good, big shout out to him. Big shout out to all of the sponsors of Heart to Heart, Bass Tire, C&L Carpets, Allen Tillery, Buick GMC, Chasing Muscle Cars, TW Perry, everybody. All of them. All of them. All of the ones that make the difference for Heart to Heart, because, it's all of you that make a difference for Heart to Heart and make it an amazing place to race. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys not next week, but the following week after Christmas. We'll be coming back to Stafford with the Late Model Stock Series for 3 more races, I believe. It's either 3 or 4 more races. We got just a few more to go. We do got the trucks coming up here also Sunday, so y'all make sure y'all check that out. That is going to be our final race in the trucks, I believe, or no? We might have an extra one also. So y'all please make sure y'all come check out Motor Mouth Broadcasting with the Truck Series. I hope y'all all have a wonderful night, and we'll see you again very soon. J-Dog, you got any closing notes for us tonight?
We will see you after Christmas. Everybody have a good, safe Christmas and travels, and please, we will see you at Stanford next year.